See. Hello, Chuck, once again. Long time we haven't seen each other.
Hi, Betty. Good to see you.
Thank you again for your time. It's as we said right now, it has been quite some time we have been talking, and we headed into the new year already on both sides actually. The fire horse everybody's talking about, and the for us in Europe the new year. So and lots of things have happened already, which you have been predicting. And there's a lot going on in the world actually, and maybe we can talk a little bit about this, and maybe you have some exercises or some things to say so we can go easier through this birthing time or birthing year.
I had a close buddy of mine, and one of his uh, refrigerator magnets says, "Have no fear. The worst is yet to come." He also had another one that says, I'm so good, I call out my own name during sex."
Okay.
It was a joke, obviously, but so yeah, it looks like the worst is still to come, which means it's really crucial that we be centered and have faith, about what's true,
Mhm.
and that we don't buy into all the things that are going around us, because things that are going to happen will seem to be beyond your control.
I feel that already. So yeah,
Right, exactly. So the key is not to gain control,
yeah.
because that's just the wrong direction. The key is to have faith, is to be able to trust the process, know that you don't have to be in charge. You can go with the flow. You can trust that heaven has a plan here. So, what would heaven's plan be that things are unfolding in this way? Well, the Tao, the Holy Spirit, is always bringing things up. It's everything's always happening for the best, except in the ego's estimation.
Mhm.
So heaven's idea is to bring us back to oneness. And that sometimes means bringing things up that for inside all of us that are causing problems out there. It's our collective unconscious.
Mhm.
It's our unconscious. It's our personal unconscious. It's our subconscious. All this stuff that we have denied and buried is coming to the surface. And this is a year where it will seem to hit the fan. Yeah. But it's like, now imagine that you could trust the process.
Yeah, I'm going there, but
Okay.
so many
Imagine,
stuff is coming up then. Okay.
imagine you're in heaven's hands.
Hmm.
Now, do you feel safe?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Mhm. For this
Yeah.
instance, at least for this instance, I feel safe. Yeah.
Yeah. And so here's a big exercise. Want to play?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So imagine all of your subconscious and everything you denied from your past in this life,
Mhm.
from conception on. How much stuff would you say is there? If it was in kilos, how many kilos would it be, or tons, or whatever? Yeah,
20,000 kilos.
that's a few tons. Yeah. So now, would you ask your angels, how many angels do you have around you?
Trillions. Okay.
Right, right. Are they your friends?
Yes.
Would you ask them to bring all of that past? Now, it's the past that creates what's going on. If you're not in the present,
Mhm.
it's the past that makes things difficult.
Mhm.
So imagine all those trillions of angels. I mean, one could do it, but you can do a company or a battalion of angels and have them bring everything in your past up to the present.
Whoa.
The present is timeless. It's the doorway to eternity. What happens to the past when you're in the present?
Mhm. It's more the fear of it that is like, "Ugh," I felt like puking
Yeah,
on. But
yeah, that
Mhm.
fear is where we take our past experiences and then we see the future going to be the same way. That's fear. The fear is always trying to deal with the future.
Mhm. Mhm.
And and basically we can't because it's not here. But if we purify the past, which you just did,
Yeah, it's dissolving. Then it's just dissolve. It was the fear, and I was like, "Ah." But then when it came, it just was dissolving. This-
now time is very interesting. You
Mhm.
know, we just hide so much from ourselves. We become Cleopatra, the queen of denial. Yeah. So now let's imagine all of the influence of your mother's ancestral line, your father's ancestral line, and your past lives.
Mhm.
And now let's put those 3 trillion angels to work because they hate just being idle. You know, they just hang around on the head of a pin and, you know. But now have them from all three of those directions, mother's ancestral line, father's ancestral line, and your past lives, all of them, and to move them from the ancient past
Mhm.
up into the present.
There's again the feeling like, "Ah." But then when it's arriving,
Mhm.
ah,
How does that feel?
good, cleaned. Thank
Yeah, who's bright and shiny?
my life.
Now, there is a time, I mean, it's like I ran into this years ago, you know, about a decade ago, where there is this time between oneness when we were in heaven and we fell into the belief, the desire to be separate. Could God, who is oneness, could he create separation? You know, as we say in America, NFW. No way. So if he didn't create it, does this darkness that's separation, that's the absence of oneness, does it really exist?
Just in
Mhm.
our stories, our mind.
And the most chronic problems and greatest wounds in our life and lifetimes actually has elements of this darkness in it, this astral, if you will.
Mm. And the thing is, what I thought is looking outside everywhere, wherever in my life or in our lives, there is this separation. So the belief
Yeah,
occurs that this is the life and this is true.
yeah, we that's what we think. We're taught that. We're taught to name things, and name things means that's separate.
Mhm.
Like you're a Betty and I'm a Chuck. But in reality, you know, in oneness, what God created was an extension of himself. And there was no separation in that. So we're all still in oneness, but we have forgotten it. We've lost it. But now you could ask those 3 trillion angels to earn their keep and to bring all that illusion of separation, that astral, all that darkness before we took on bodies, which really proved we were separate, but to bring all of that up to the present.
It's again this feeling, the fear, and this feeling, oh, it's the worst. And then whew, it dissolves.
Mhm. Yeah, because it's an illusion. It's not the truth.
It's an interesting feeling. I've never had it in this awareness that this is really the feeling, the fear, and then it comes up and then it just dissolves.
Yeah. Fear is just trying to handle the future. It's sending attack thoughts into the future. You can send blessings into the future.
Yeah. Mhm.
Could you send blessing into your future? Could you send blessing into Chris's future?
Yeah.
Could you send your love into the future,
Mhm. That's nice.
into both your futures, into every all your friends?
Ah, this is good. Yeah. Mm. Into the world.
So then you become a lighthouse.
Mm.
One of my favorite haikus
Mm.
is just this little line, which is lights flickering on the far hill. Somewhere the night beast is held at bay.
Mm. Mm.
So would you be that light?
Mhm.
You know, one of the things that A Course in Miracles suggests is that 100 times a day we invite the Holy Spirit into our mind.
Mm.
And then you begin to see things from heaven's perspective, which is, I think, the purpose of everything coming to this juncture, to have us, when you're painted yourself into a corner, the way out is to look up, is to help us remember our origin, our source, our spirit. And our spirit, that higher self is one with God. And God made us in oneness. He created us. We can't change that. We could think we did. That's called illusion. And illusions means, well, think of it as like you think you're taking a step up the stairs, but actually it's the step to the basement, and wow, yeah. And illusions lead to disillusionment.
Yeah.
And then that's so shocking, shattered dreams, that most of us go seek another illusion.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm.
This is what I'm thinking, what is happening outside as well. There's so much information, overflow of information and more solution and more information.
Right. And that's the purpose of the ego, to keep us overwhelmed and inundated. So there's going to be even more in the coming months. But the key is to find your center
Yeah.
and to come back to yourself, to be true to yourself. So, Betty, if I asked you, how old were you in this life, the biggest time you lost yourself? How
The
old were you?
one comes up directly.
Yeah. Now, at one, what was going on that you decided you had to please everybody?
I I feel encaged in the body actually.
Yeah.
Caged, and this is such an delusionment or an delusion
Yeah,
from
that's an illusion. Yeah.
so this is
Okay.
so overwhelming to be caught up in the body that yeah, then I just lose myself. This is what's
How far off your center, heaven's path for you, did you go?
50,000, 50 trillions.
Mhm,
Very much. Mhm.
mhm. So let's imagine that you and me and Mother Mary go back to this 1-year-old baby.
Mhm.
Mm. How would you coach yourself?
How would I coach myself? Just with this presence, I'm held actually
Mhm.
then I remember.
Hmm.
Then it feels safe and I don't know, it just feels like this energy is coming in and then it's like, ah,
Mhm. Yeah.
I can open up.
Notice Mother Mary has reached oneness, and she doesn't believe in bodies anymore. So her presence, her awareness, that alone, just can change everything, just like it did. It's a remembrance. Oh yeah, we're God's bubala. We're his precious child. And, he's God's oneness, Mother Mary's oneness. They're inside me. They're beside me. I can learn whatever I need to learn, and it doesn't have to be difficult. Only the ego thinks it has to be difficult.
Yeah, then again, I think outside to the people, and they're looking for solutions again, and ego strategies and so on. And this is just a simple solution actually to remember oneness, but this is the most forgotten
Yeah.
solution.
Getting the answer is easy. Not getting the answer is just really difficult. So when you realize this is what a Course in Miracles called atonement. At one minute, it's remembering you're one with your creator. Did God create you separate? Did he created a Betty and a Chuck and a Christian? And no, it's like he's oneness. He loved. Creation comes from love and he extended himself. So we're part of that. We're part of the oneness. We have his power. We have his gifts. And then the willingness to share helps us remember. As we save our brothers, we save ourselves. As we save our brothers and ourselves, we save the world. The Course talks about if you can find one person totally innocent, it's like that's the gateway home. But, it also says the second law of chaos is that nobody's innocent. Everybody's guilty. Mm.
Yeah, we all feel guilty. We have to project it outside, and then this is the never-ending story.
Right. Then it's self-attack and attack. And part of the laws of chaos is, I believe in punishment for errors. And it was just a mistake.
So looking upwards, connecting with God is the way going through the year.
Mhm. And um, how about we do a little centering exercise?
Mhm.
So you can ask your angels, or you could ask your higher mind or Mother Mary to carry you back to your center. It's a place of peace and harmony.
Mhm.
And in this place, yeah, in this place, as you look out at the world, how does it feel now?
Television. It's like watching, but I still feel peaceful and calm, and it's watching.
As to be carried to a deeper center. How does that look and feel?
I'm carried away from the illusion somehow. It's deeper into more center, into more peace.
Mhm,
And somehow the outside is more. There's more not awareness of illusion, but it's dissolving.
mhm. You could even ask to be carried to a third deeper center.
More dissolving and more peace.
Mhm. Ask now to be carried to a higher center.
More ecstatic. It's more
Do you want to ask to be carried to another higher center?
yeah, again, it's more joy,
Mhm,
more union, more fun. And I forgot that the outside is
mhm.
forgotten.
Can you ask to be carried to a center that's both higher and deeper?
Closer to divine. It's intimacy with God. It's closer to the divine.
Mhm.
Again, far away from what we have been speaking about. It's interesting.
Now, Betty, how many lifetimes have you been enlightened?
20?
That's what I heard also. So, would you ask to be carried to your highest enlightenment lifetime, to that center?
just just light. There's just
Mhm.
bathing in light and in peace. Just calm and chilled.
Now, can you ask to be carried to your center in the mind of God and just hang out with the big guy?
Yes. Yeah, it's just incredible. Just so much love and so much peace and happiness.
We're
Everything.
fighting. We're fighting for our personal life. We just want to hold on to everything in this life. We try to control everything to do that.
Mhm.
We want to hold on to our identity that we built up through blood, sweat, and tears.
Beautiful.
And basically our ego is built on the bones of our child, just like that 1 year old.
Mhm.
But when you heal that, you just now you're back on heaven's path. You're being true to yourself, and life gets so much easier. You can bring that from 1 years old all the way up to the present. At one level, time is not linear, it's simultaneous. It's all happening now. So as you remember now, it has that effect through all of your lifetimes. But, to follow in the path we were going, um, how old were you after one where you lost yourself again?
Two comes up directly.
Yeah. And two is an age where we're meant to learn love, to extend ourselves, to reach out, to be happy. Instead, if we miss the point, we learn sacrifice.
Mhm.
How much of yourself did you lose at 2 years old?
80 and 800.
Yeah. How much do you really have left? How much do you have to give? How much do you have to receive? Okay. So who was the problem with it too?
Yeah, I feel uterus pains on my mom. My mom comes up.
Now, is that in the womb or is that
Hmm.
in when you're a 2 year old baby?
Yeah, it's in the womb. Hmm.
Yeah. So this sacrifice pattern happened right away. Now, did you try to help your mother?
Yes, but it didn't help her.
Yeah, it didn't help. See, we took on many roles as a child, and every one of them we lost ourselves. There's the hero role. You didn't recognize that you lost yourself. How many hero roles do you have, Betty?
It's interesting. We did it yesterday in R2O, and that didn't sound very much, but 20,000 comes up now. Wow.
Yeah. So you uncovered one layer, and here's another layer. So you always were Jeanne d'Arc,
Yes. Mhm.
but it's a sacrifice.
Mhm.
It's not your true, authentic self. How many sacrifice or martyr roles do you have in there trying to save the family?
In 20,000.
And how many scapegoat? Okay, I'll be the one getting in trouble. I'll be the troublemaker. I'll get in trouble with the law just to save the family. You be normal. I'll be crazy.
880,000. Mhm. Wow.
Yeah. And these are all where you have these roles. You're playing this, you're acting out this script, but you're not being yourself. Then how many charmer, mascot,
20,000 again.
entertainer roles?
Mhm.
And then there's the lost child, the invisible child, the one who says, "Okay, I'll disappear." In Asia, I've seen it so many times. I don't need rice. You all have rice. I'll just disappear here. And even to the point where they get given away. It's the orphan role. It's the invisible child role. How many of those do you have?
800,000. Yeah,
Yeah,
I left. I went away.
yeah. We played all five of these roles. Some we're more used to. Like close to 30 years ago, we just finished a workshop, uh, first in Switzerland and then in the UK. And it was after the workshop in the UK, and we were all standing around. And I just happened to be in a group of psychics, three women psychics. Um, they were witches. Yeah, most of my friends are witches. Anyhow. You too, right? But they said to me, one of them looked at me and pointed at me and said, "You were an orphan. You were a lost child. Nobody ever noticed it, not even you." And tears start pouring down my face because she had nailed it. And I mean, I was aware of all the others of being a troublemaker and, being a charmer and being a sacrificer, martyr, and being a hero. But I wasn't, that was the most hidden one. That was the one holding me back. So the next day on the plane, it's like tears are still coming down my face. And my children at that point, they were young and they were going, "Mom, Mom, what's wrong with Dad?" I go, "It's nothing. He's just processing something from when he was a kid. It's all fine." So we played them all.
But maybe could you explain why do we take on those roles? Why do we do that?
Because our biggest desire when we come into this life is to help our family, to save our family. And usually that's a pretty impossible task. And it can't happen by roles. It can only happen because we made a mistake, and then did any of those roles ever help?
No.
Yeah. Even the hero role, it looks like it's helping, but it's not helping because you are how many steps behind yourself as the role of hero?
20,000.
Yeah, so you have a telescope to see you playing this hero role. It's a good movie, you know. How much armor are you wearing?
Wow, a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So your hero role and then your partner's hero role, all that armor coming together, makes a lot of noise. The neighbors must complain, you know. But now it's an illusion. So you can divest yourself of that and do something that really works. So one of the things is, would you take all of those roles and you could take it to the altar of truth, or you could take it to God's hibachi, if he didn't create it, it doesn't really exist, or you could take it to the heaven's trading post, all that armor. And heaven always trades up. So what do you get back?
This is sweet. I get a divine hug. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, like before with the 1 year old. It's very nice. Mhm.
But now it's 2 months in the womb. Now, can you share that with your mother? Ask for holy family bonding and share that with your mother, that gift.
Yeah, so much secureness then, and she feels held as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what really helps. We brought in soul gifts for every problem in the family, and we can get them increased. In A Course in Miracles, it says, if you give your gifts back to God, He can increase them up to 10,000 times.
Mhm. Mhm.
Woohoo! So, Holy Family bonding and the gift you brought in, plus receiving heaven's gift for the family, and it makes a difference. The family gets rebonded.
Mhm.
The family comes together, and you head for what the family is meant for, which is love and success, happiness, joy. That's what bonding brings. It brings it the easy way, not this hard work thing we independents get into. We live by grace. So, how does 2 months in the womb feel? Your mom's probably just discovering she's pregnant.
Yeah, I feel that she's stable and with self-love and just feeling held.
Mhm.
So she can be a good center for the family. And I like growing up in her body and being born.
So, can you bring that feeling from 2 months and 1 years old and bring it all the way up to the present?
Yeah, I feel held now as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's the gift. And whenever you're feeling anxious, which is trying to deal with the future, you can call this in.
Mhm, mhm. Thank you.
Yeah. So, what's another time? What happened after 2 months? When was the next time after 2 months in the womb that you got off the track?
Directly at 3 comes up.
3 years old, 3 months.
It's both actually.
Yeah, that's true. 3 years old is the biggest trauma time for people, dealing so much in the subconscious. That's what I found back in the 70s, and it's just gotten reinforced.
Why is this?
I think it's because at 3 years old, it's all about our purpose and our power. And most people are frightened. I'm writing this for the March newsletter. We were frightened of power because we abused it in the past. We abused it to subjugate someone, or we used it because we abused power.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we don't want power now.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the first thing is, heaven asks, do you want a world you rule rather than one that rules you? And so, but if people have abused power, then they go, no, I don't want to rule. They become rabbits instead. It's the year of the horse. So, and so, we're afraid of what we came to do. We're afraid of our purpose. Back in the 70s, as I would heal people of trauma, they would take a big step toward their purpose. So each trauma that got healed, they became more true to what they were called to do. And people think, I can't do that. That's too big. So the ego says, it's okay. I can get you out of this. Follow me. It's going to cost you a little bit of pain, but then you'll be free. Except we're not free. We suffer and we lose ourselves, and everything becomes more difficult. The ego is the father of lies. And so we do things. And if you have a really big purpose, you start in the womb with a trauma because it's your excuse. I don't have to show up. Look what happened to me. Um, in my experience, I run into so many people who've been sexually abused. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine back in 1977, who was a therapist, said to me, do you know anybody who hasn't been sexually abused? And I go, no, I don't know anybody who hasn't been sexually abused. Now, we were therapists, so obviously we're going to hear a lot more of that than the general public, but it's more rampant than you think it is. They wouldn't let Freud publish his last book, which was how much incest and sexual abuse was rampant in 1890s Vienna. And they go, you can't print this book. So it wasn't printed to like, the 1920s or something like that, the end of the 1920s, but it just goes on a lot more. But what I found working in the subconscious is that people are sexually abused because they don't want to be a sexual healer. And that gives them a good excuse. Look what happened to me. I don't have to show up for that. And it's the same thing with all traumas. Look what happened to me. Look at this accident. Look at this illness. You can't expect me to show up and do that. That's impossible anyhow. But you can't do your purpose on your own. It's like something that you do with heaven. You partner with heaven. You let the Holy Spirit do it through you. You let Kuan Yin do it through you.
And that means that everywhere where we create a problem, we have a purpose. Mm-hmm.
We had a purpose behind it, and the main purpose is to avoid our purpose. But each of these things, if you go into the subconscious, it's just full of denial. Everything is not as simple as it seems. Our ego, and we went along with it, planned this. And so there's so much denial. We've hidden so much from ourselves. In A Course in Miracles, it says, you have denied heaven itself, because, we're in oneness. But how many of you can feel that? Whoopee! How many of you can feel that there's no distance? There's only love between us. There's only light between us. We're the same. And that's why, in relationships, it's working through differences because the differences goes, I'm better, my way is better, your way sucks. You're a lesser being. The ego's made of competition and fear and all the other dark emotions. But that's just the wedge between us. If you're innocent, you're just like, ta-da! Come on in, the water's fine. Welcome. I love you, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, this whole thing, I began to go, gee, what I learned in graduate school, there's something that's truer and more pertinent. There's something more going on here, and it's hidden away in the subconscious. And then the unconscious mind, the soul mind began to show up, and the ancestral patterns began to show up, and ways through them began to show up. And then the darkness between oneness and when we came into bodies, which is the ancient ego, the astral. And it's full of intense pain. So if you trip into that area and you don't bring your awareness, I mean, it's the worst pain of your life. But all these things can be healed because heaven's will for us is wholeness and healing and happiness and joy. So here's a big lesson year coming up for us. And as the year goes on, it's going to get darker. So it's, keeping your faith and keeping heaven's perspective. Uh, let's do another thing. And we may come back to this other exercise, which is going through your life and all the places you lost yourself, is to restore yourself, is to be true to yourself, because then you can't be false to anyone.
Yeah, that's good.
But what was the worst thing that ever happened to you in your life?
I think abuse and violence.
Mm. In the same picture, same scene?
Yeah, it feels very. Mhm. Abuse
Okay.
fishermen, of course. Yeah.
So now invite the Holy Spirit into your mind and look at that scene through the Holy Spirit's eyes.
Mhm,
Are you innocent?
mhm. Yeah, I see the awareness of self-destruction.
Mhm.
I can see the reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the laws of chaos is every error needs to be punished rather than just corrected.
Mhm.
So, but looking at it through the Holy Spirit's eyes, are you innocent?
Yes.
Is everybody in the scene innocent?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yes.
And can you just easily learn the lesson now? Just have the lesson be received now?
Mhm, mhm,
Who's an innocent girl?
mhm.
Yeah. And as you're innocent, you just see innocence. You see maybe calls for help. You see people who need love, and you can bring it. But if you have any place where you see yourself guilty, then you'll look out at the world and go, oh my God, they're guilty. They should be punished. Blame means we're just hiding our own guilt. We're just hiding our own because we use those events of blaming and blaming ourselves because we're afraid to go forward. And going forward has all the answers. Okay. Um, how does that feel?
Freeing and free and innocent.
Yeah, you could go through your whole life and look at it through the Holy Spirit's eyes, or look at it through Christ's eyes, or Buddha's eyes, or Kuan Yin's eyes, or Mother Mary's eyes, Mary Magdalene's eyes. They've reached oneness. All they see is innocence. They've gone through all these lessons. And the only way when you're in heaven, you're in bliss, you're in ecstasy. How do you increase your joy? By helping someone. So as they reach down to help their little brothers and sisters, what happens is they get more joy. It's the same thing as if we help someone, we feel good. It's one of the ways of healing yourself is helping others heal. Yeah. That's why the hard cases do work as trainers and therapists and healers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a way to clean up your life. And this is what this whole next year is about seeing it from a higher perspective, is remembering your source, is remembering that you are one with your source. Um, who's someone who's fallen in your estimation recently in the news?
Uh, uh,
Yes,
spiritual guru.
a spiritual guru. Mhm. So remember the Ho'oponopono, the Hawaiian healing method. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. It's, I'm sorry I've put on you all the guilt I feel inside because I hate it inside me. So let me put it on you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So everybody is acting out the inside of our mind. The outside is acting out the inside. So we can use the outside to go, oh, you've fallen, you know. But Betty, how many times were you a spiritual master healer and you fell?
Yeah, that came up directly when you were talking 20 times.
20 times. And how guilty did you feel?
Yeah. I killed myself every time.
Yeah. I mean, some people kick themselves so much they have one foot up there, and they try to hobble through life. Guilt means you don't learn the lesson. If you beat yourself up, you're not learning the lesson. If you learn the lesson, you move on. That's That's the past. So, um, can you understand, Betty, what was going on in all those lifetimes where you fell?
Yeah.
Something, yeah. Can
Right.
you understand that? Can you accept that?
Yes.
Can you have compassion for yourself?
Yeah.
Can you forgive yourself?
Yes.
Can you now look at this fallen guru, this fallen master, and can you understand what happened?
Yeah. He totally lost himself. Yeah. Mhm.
Can you accept that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you have compassion for him?
Yeah.
Can you forgive him? Mhm.
Yeah. He,
Who's an innocent guru?
he is.
Who is?
He is, and I am.
Yeah. If you see anyone worthy of your attack, that's how you used to be. And where you have guilt or judgment, you give up your power. The ego says if you judge, you're above everybody else. But all it does is separate you and gives you the illusion that you're above everybody else. But then you're caught in an illusion of superior, inferior. It's a vicious circle. You haven't ever acted that way toward a partner, have you, Betty? Superior, just, How many vicious circles of superior, inferior do you have?
20 still.
Can you give them up to the Holy Spirit? And what comes to you?
Innocence and equality, peace, dancing, happiness.
Mm, mm. Isn't that a much better way to look at things? Hmm. Can you see if you fell 20 times, you can shy away from being a spiritual leader?
Thank you.
Yeah. And isn't that what you're called for, to help free people? Even Christ got tempted, at the last minute. Um, let's do one more. What's the biggest place in your life? How old were you when you really got way off the track?
18 comes up.
And what happened at 18 happened with you and your,
Partner, my first partner.
and what happened then? What the what happened with you and the bugger?
Uh, Destruction, somehow destruction comes up, destruction of the relationship. Yeah, just fighting and destruction.
Mhm. So the thing is, how far did you get off the track?
Kilometers.
So then you have this pattern of having enough guilt to destroy your relationship and yourself and your partner. You
Yeah. Mhm.
pretend he's Napoleon and you blow his bone apart.
Mhm.
So, but can you just ask your angels carry you back to your center of being true to yourself And if you're true to yourself, you can't be false to anyone.
It just changes totally the image. Mhm.
Mhm. And this is crazy, but who are you being loyal to that you had this destructive pattern in relationships?
My dad.
Mhm. So, can you take this untrue loyalty with your father and take it to the trading post? See what heaven gives you back in return for it.
Well, I can feel that disloyalty and what this, yeah. I wasn't aware of that. Bouquet, flower bouquet. It's coming back.
Mm. Mm. So, can you share that flower bouquet with your boyfriend? That's a sweet metaphor.
Yes. Wow, yeah, it's very sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then it dissolves that self-attack, that guilt, which just leads to more. And can you bring up that bouquet to all through all your relationships? And it's truth. Be true to yourself, true to your father. You could share that bouquet with him, free him of this destructive pattern.
Oh, yeah, this is very sweet. Yeah. Well,
Mhm. And won't your partner be happy that you have this bouquet for him?
very much. Yes.
Yeah. Yippee!
Thank you, Chuck.
So, yeah, onward and upward. The news can give us just lots to forgive.
Just
It
being
just
aware of that.
it's
Just,
yeah, it just shows us what's inside our mind, all our shadow figures. But, call for help. When
bless.
you judge, you separate and empower the darkness. But bring the light, bring the peace, bring the forgiveness, bring the trust.
Yeah, it's very good. Thank you. I
You're
hope
so
many
welcome.
people will watch this. It's so important. Yeah, just blessing and forgiving.
Yeah. And that's a real difference. Judge, your judgment wounds them and wounds you. You put your past on them. But blessing is the opposite of judgment. They just need help, poor babies. They need love, you know. They're just, they're like in grade school and they don't know better. And they just need some support, some help, some grace. If
Thank
we don't judge them, we could grace them.
you. That's- Thank you so much
You're so welcome.
for your time and your wisdom and your peace and for spread it.
Yeah. And this is a really crucial year, this next 12 months, through February. And it could level civilization or it could uplift civilization. Let's be part of the uplifters.
Thank you so much, Chuck.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Love
It's
you
always fun. Yeah.
so much. See you soon. Have a good
See you
day.
soon. Give Chris my love.
Thank you.
Okay.